How about 2 words? Highly proficient.
Well, it's been like a family to us.
The pride with who we are, it is so entwined with the 188.
It's a source of pride.
It means family, it's community.
These are women and men that are doing the things that our government asks them to do to secure our freedoms and liberties. And without that, what do we have?
They're doing something that other people aren't willing to do, and they're willing to do it every day.
The 188th is Fort Smith's pride and joy.
In a lot of parts of the nation, we spend a lot of time trying to create goodwill for our units. That's Army, Marines, whatever you talk about. Here in Fort Smith, that's a built-in thing. We have that support.
It's very, very appropriate that this be called the Defending Our Defenders Tour, because nobody does that better than here in Fort Smith, Arkansas.
I can tell you in our city, in our municipal employees, we have 4 or 5 that are employed by the 188.
It is part of the fabric of our city.
The 188th means family to me.
You can't talk about Fort Smith without talking about the 188.
My husband is Scott Barr. He is a senior master sergeant in the munitions branch of the 188th.
My husband is Vincent Prince. He works in the weapons shop. He is a supervisor over the loaders.
My husband, as I said, has been a part of the unit for 20 years.
The support for the Guard in Fort Smith is amazing.
Without the community, our men and women would not realize how valued they are.
We go out to eat. My husband's in his uniform. We go to pay, somebody's paid for lunch, someone's paid for dinner.
I couldn't tell you how many times when my husband is deployed, someone has come over and mowed our lawn.
Bennett walks around telling everybody his daddy's in Afghanistan. You know, my daddy's a pilot. Before I left to come here today, Bennett had his bags packed and I asked him where he was going. He said he was getting on an airplane to go to Afghanistan to see his daddy fighting the war. They're so proud. They're so proud.
I've always said my husband is my hero, and with the Guard I get to share him with the rest of the world, and I feel like the city feels that way about the 188th.
Well, the economic impact of the 188th region is significant. Not just direct jobs, but the indirect jobs to support everybody that works out there, from housing to retail.
I was the chairperson for the air show last year, and without the 188th, it's going to be hardly impossible to have another air show in Fort Smith, Arkansas. And over the 3-day period, we brought in over 500,000 people.
The Fort Smith Regional Airport is a great airport. But because of the 188th and the services that are provided, whether they be direct or tangential, makes the Fort Smith Regional Airport an exceptional airport. You cannot discount their presence on our field and the capabilities that they bring on a daily basis.
When they talk about the 188th and the impact of the mission change of the 188th, it goes far beyond Fort Smith and the impact of Fort Smith. It's really an impact on our entire region.
With 1,000 people coming to work there, during their training weekends once a month, and over 300 or 400 every day there, it's a big impact. They buy a lot of houses, they buy a lot of groceries, they buy a lot of gas.
We've proven we're among the best no matter what weapons platform you give us.
We've never had any trouble recruiting into the 188th.
Realizing how good this unit is.
Last year, it was recognized with the Outstanding Air Force Unit Award.
They serve alongside the regular Air Force and excel.
The 188th has been rated as one of the top A-10 units in the entire Air Force, and that's a remarkable achievement considering the unit has had A-10s for less than 5 years.
Wherever they go, they put their best foot forward. Even the Air Force commented on how good of a job our maintenance was and how well airplanes flew.
The unit has developed new ways and lower cost ways of maintaining the A-10 aircraft that the entire Air Force has adopted.
I have a real strong passion for getting our government expenditures under control as a banker and a finance person. And from an efficiency standpoint, I take great pride that it's one of the most effective fighter wings in the Guard.
They get more bang for the tax dollar than any other unit of comparable size.
We can put a plane in the area here far cheaper than they do anywhere else.
We did things with a whole lot less people, a lot less money, and did it a whole lot better.
It costs less to operate.
We are 14 miles from our range, and people fly hundreds of miles to get to the range.
The average flight cost is half the cost of the average throughout the Guard.
We barely get our planes up off the ground out of here, clear the trees, and you're ready to drop back down onto the range and begin doing your bombing and strafing.
You have military units from all over the country that come here and use our airspace.
We're just too good to be going away.
It's not just wrong for Fort Smith more than anything. It is wrong for the United States of America.
If what national defense is all about is what they tell us it's all about, go Razorbacks. We're the best deal in town.
I don't really know how to put it into words because it's part of me, it's part of my family, and I feel like it's part of Fort Smith. And Fort Smith will lose part of itself.
It is the city, it is the Guard. That is just who we are and what we do around here.
When I hear the planes go overhead, that's the sound of freedom.
There's no better place to hear the sound of freedom than right here in Fort Smith, Arkansas.